Hey, nerdy sports fan here. We're talking the AFC and NFC championship games. Many times the best week of football that you get all year. Now, these playoffs have been fantastic. There have been a number of upsets, mostly the ones that got Tennessee here. Yeah, it's fan-frickin-tastic seeing the Titans this far into the playoffs, legitimizing a really strong midseason quarterback move and letting people know, like, hey, quarterback matters a hell of a lot, yes. But it doesn't have to be the only thing that matters. So you have both sides of the conversation here. Ryan Tannehill is the whole reason they're this far. It's the whole reason they made the playoffs. In the playoffs, Derrick Henry and this defense is the only thing that has done anything. That's how they've won games. I mean, Derrick Henry is on a legendary tear, okay? This guy has put up over 180 yards 3 games in a row. Unheard of. It literally never happened in the NFL until this postseason. And he's going up against one of the weakest run defenses of any playoff team for sure. It's going to be real fun. And Derrick Henry has got to be licking his damn chops at this game. Seriously. The Titans have already won this matchup, but mind you, it was in Tennessee. So that 35-32 victory that they had earlier in the season, that was kind of Ryan Tannehill's coming out party. Yeah. That is obvious proof that they can do it. Okay? But also there's, new factors. It's in Kansas City. Kansas City's a bit healthier than they were earlier in the season. They do have some key injuries, though, particularly Chris Jones. Now, one of the number one reasons that this defense got better late in the season was the play of the defensive line. Chris Jones and Frank Clark are great in Spagnuolo's defense. Him being out last week lends some concern to that. Okay, teams are always going to be dodgy about how they let the world know about the injuries. They're going to use every loophole they can to make it so the opposing team has to account for players that may or may not be injured. It happens all the time, okay? Tom Brady's been on the injury report with an elbow for the last 10 seasons. So is Chris Jones going to go? Is he going to be on the bench again? Who knows? All I know is even with him on the line, this defense is terrible at stopping running backs. Terrible. And yeah, they're going to get run all over. The issue here is most teams, when they get run all over and they have a lead on the other side based off of that, they have to end up going into scramble mode and just throw the ball all over the place to try and catch up, and they can't do it, so they end up further and further in a hole. Like what the Chiefs did to the Texans last week. The Texans could not keep up with them. They tried to. That's the problem. My issue with the Texans' coaching decisions of last week primarily is they abandoned the running game too early. They had time. They just gave up early. Titans won't do that. They will not do that. Mike Vrabel knows what his moneymaker is in these playoffs, and that is King Henry. Okay? Derrick Henry is going to be the entire Tennessee offense until Kansas City proves they can stop it consistently. And that won't happen. So you are going to see an offensive performance. One team's dominant running game against one team's dominant passing game. Nobody can stop these guys in the passing game. Okay, they have too many targets that you would have to double because they're just athletically gifted. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, and Travis Kelce are all some of the fastest people at their positions. And they run extremely good routes, and they're well practiced in an offense designed to target positions and get people open. Andy Reid knows how to call an offense. And yes, Vrabel's got a very good defense. He's got a very good defensive staff. They're near the top in all categories, and they've got great secondary. I mean, they proved last week that, man, can they stop the pass? Mind you, it's against Lamar Jackson. That's not really the strong suit of his game at this point in his career. But he threw it something like 60 times. And they stopped him. Okay, they won. So it's Kansas City's strength. Absolutely, their passing game. But Tennessee wants to do this to teams. They want to run all over you and force you to throw the ball all the time, because their run defense isn't that great, okay? They are more of an opportunistic group. They're going for plays. They're going for turnovers. They're going for big third down stops. You know, they have pressure. They do not go by a bend but don't break sort of philosophy, which is exactly what Andy Reid attacks. So now he's attacking an attack. So this is going to be a very roll the dice kind of game when Kansas City's on offense and Tennessee's on defense. Kansas City's going to know, hey, they're attacking. They're probably going to attack from, say, this area, this sort of blitz package, or this stunt, whatever it may be. So now you're counterpunching. And sometimes counterpunching works fantastically. Okay, sometimes it breaks off some of the biggest plays you're going to see. Other times it's an interception or a sack fumble. You're taking a gamble. Okay, it's going to be a bait and switch thing all game. Okay, they're going to show blitz and not. They're going to back off and blitz on a delay. They're going to do anything they possibly can to attack Kansas City and get them in a position where they're making a hasty decision. Pat Mahomes has been great on hasty decisions all season, but every quarterback has their flaws, and there's not a single one of them that does better under consistent pressure at this point in their career. Nobody. So the greats get to that point eventually because they're reading the defense so well. That's really the one part of Pat Mahomes' game that's not quite there just yet. He's not reading defenses. He's a fantastic playmaker. Fantastic. But if you can confuse him with your pressure packages, it's there. The question this whole game is, who's going to bend? Who's going to back off of what they do best to try and counter the other team instead of just rely on their own strength? Because if both teams just rely on their own strength, this may be the most entertaining game of the entire playoffs. It will be bang, 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 down the field score with some fantastic spreading the field offense from Kansas City, and then slow but sure gut punches down the other side with Derrick Henry getting into the frickin' end zone on what may be 8 plays that they just called Derrick Henry's name. Sign me up for that game. Okay, sign me up for that. I hope neither team tries to adjust their style or game plan or anything and just focuses on their strengths because they kind of line up with what the other team's going to give you anyway. So it's strength versus strength. Who's going to will it out? I love that. That comes down to coaching. It comes down to game management. So this may be a single tipped pass kind of turnover, a turnover that's nobody's fault really, that decides the game. This could be a special teams play that just happens to squirt free into a return touchdown or a blocked kick or punt. This is one of those ticky-tack games where a single thing that goes either direction can decide the game. Personally, I have always prescribed to a pound the rock, play strong defense, you win in the playoffs philosophy. Mostly because I watched my Buffalo Bills do exactly the opposite and lose 4 straight Super Bowls doing it. So, yeah, we always lost to the team that pounded the rock and played solid defense and managed the clock. Always. So that's the only thing I think wins in the playoffs, and Tennessee is proving it right now. They are knifing through teams that are supposed to blow them out. It's going to happen again. Okay, I'm taking Tennessee in this. A lot of people are going to see it the other way. I get it. Let's talk in the comments, guys. Okay? So, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. In this game, as far as the spread goes, if you've gotten this far because you're an addictive gambler, we have, let's see, 7 points in favor of Kansas City. Obviously, I'm betting Tennessee in that. I think they're going to win. So now you got points in your pocket, too. So they're not going to lose by a touchdown. If they stay true to themselves, which they have no reason not to. Okay, Kansas City's weak against the run. They're going to be in it at the end. So even if they don't win like I think they will, they're not losing by a touchdown. Bet Tennessee all damn day. Again, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Check out my other videos. We're putting one up for the NFC game, obviously. And Nerdy Sports Fan Weekly, covering coaching changes, hires, and retirements. Man, it's that season. See you next time, guys.